Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Armored Gaming. Today I'm going to go over the Mythology maze. I'm going to go over some tips and tricks, I guess. Now it's a little complicated considering the information on the wiki is a little off. So I'm going to start by collecting gold. You see that I collected 2 coins already. And the max pool is 30, so I have 2. So that means I can collect 28 more. And I'm just going to collect slowly so I can make sure I show you guys every single time I collect coins. So right there I collected 12, so 2 and 12, that's 14. So I can collect 16 more. And I'm going to go ahead and keep collecting. So I can collect 16 more coins. There it is, 16. So that means I've collected everything in my pool. So I'm just going to go ahead and collect these a little faster. And you're going to see that I'm not going to collect any more maze coins because the pool has been emptied out already. So as you can see, that's all my habitats. And I'm going to go ahead and spam collect just to show you guys that it's completely empty and I can't get any more coins. Now I waited exactly 4 hours before playing the game, and which is what the spawn time says, but I'm going to explain that a little more because on the wiki it says something really interesting. But okay, so I've spammed enough. You're going to see I have 561 maze coins as of right now. Now I'm going to move on to collecting food. So I'm going to collect, and again the pool for this is also 30, so I'm aiming to get 30. So I got 9, that means I can get 21 more. Collect, looks like I'm not getting anything. Collecting 21 there. So as you can see, I got 30 already, which is the max. So I'm gonna go ahead and put repeat all. Now a trick, you can actually do the one that takes only I think the blue lizard tail. Whatever the first farm item is, if you haven't collected like your full pool, you can just plant the ones that takes like 5 seconds and just spam the collect button. So as you can see by looking at my coins, I have 591, so that's just to make sure that I got exactly 30 coins. But anyways, yeah, you can just plant like the blue lizard's tail or whatever takes the minimum amount of time and just keep spamming it until you deplete your pool. Now I'm going to move on to feeding monsters. So what I like to do is I like to feed whatever lowest monster I have, and then I just like to feed them slowly until I get coins. And I want to make sure I know how many coins I get. So here I got 10. So I'm going to go ahead and feed a different monster now. And I'm just trying to empty out my pools. And again, this is after playing exactly 4 hours. So I think that was 16. So I should only have 4 more coins to collect. Hopefully I get them right here. Come on, maze coins. 4, right there. So again, that's 30 coins. So I got a total of 90 coins. When you go to the Wikipedia and you look at the section how to get maze coins, you see here that says collect gold, pool 30, spawn time 4, amount 1 to 5. And according to this, the spawn time is the time it takes for another coin to be added to the pool. Obviously it can be another coin, because if it was another coin, that means it would take 4 hours times 30. It would take 120 hours for your pool to be full, which obviously isn't the case. So after some investigation, it seems that 4 hours is the time it takes for the whole pool to be full. So if you just do some simple math, it takes approximately 8 minutes to get a maze coin for collecting gold to respawn. And I actually did test it out on both of my accounts. What I did was I made sure my pools were empty, and then I set a timer. I closed the apps and I reopened them. Sometimes you have to close them and reopen for it to work. And then when I collected exactly after 8 minutes, I ended up getting exactly one maze coin. If you want, you can just figure out what the individual spawn time for each is, and it's just turn it into minutes. So for this, the max pool is 50. So what you would do is you would get 4 hours times 60 minutes, 240 divided by 5, and you get divided by 50, and you get 4.8, and you convert that in terms of time, and that's how you figure out how much time it takes to get one more of each item added to the pool. Now the easiest thing to do is honestly just wait 4 hours and do every single task after 4 hours. So for example, collect gold. You don't even have to, if the habitat doesn't even have to be full, you can just spam collect until you get your 30. Collect food, it's 50. I thought it was 30 actually. So one thing you can do is just plant, again, like I said in the video, the whatever requires the least amount of time, and you can just keep spamming that, keep growing them, and just collect, and make sure you get 50. And then for breed monsters, one trick a lot of people like to do is just breed a lot of pandakins, or breed like fire and nature, and they give you 30 seconds or less, and you can just keep breeding them. The problem with that is that it still takes a lot of time. So assume you get it every 30 seconds. That would take 25 minutes if you only have one breeding thing, or 12.5 minutes if you have both of your breeding islands or whatever they're called. So that would take a lot of time. Now I think if there's any combination of monster that takes exactly 4 hours to breed, maybe you can just keep breeding him over and over. So, you know, if you have 2 habitats or 2 breeding thingy-mabobbers, you can actually get the hatching and the breeding at the same time. So you would hatch one and breed one, or breed both. So I hope I'm kind of making a mess, because I'm not completely sure how maze coins work, because whatever's in the wiki doesn't necessarily correspond to how it actually plays out in the game. So for example, if you see here, every time you collect gold, you should be getting 1 to 5 coins. But as you saw in my gameplay, there was a time when I got only 2, and then another one I got like 16 or 14. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. Same with collect gold. I think I got actually 1 to 25. That one does make sense. But yeah, as far as collect gold, that doesn't make sense. The breed monsters, when I do it, I normally get 50 right off the bat. And the hatch, I normally get 50. I never gotten partial. I've never gotten like 22 and then 21. But maybe it depends on the rarity of the monster, or how long it takes for the monster to breed or hatch. So I actually don't really know, which is why I was a little skeptical making this video. But I thought I'd just show you guys just my finding about like the spawn time actually being 8 minutes for collecting gold, not like 4 hours. But I mean, that was pretty intuitive. Just by playing, you could tell. I would actually say you could probably just spam. You could probably log in whenever you want. It'd be easier to log in every 4 hours. I really feel like this is gonna be the most discombobbled video I've made on, like, it's supposed to be helpful. I hope I didn't make things worse. The point is, just log in every 4 hours, do all the tasks. It'll be the easiest thing to do. The most important thing you can do is to wait for happy hour. Happy hour is like the best thing to happen in this game, and specifically wait for the 30% discount, which happens on May 19th, May 20th, and June 3rd. And they're all 30%. Now, it doesn't matter if you use all of your coins that you've saved up until May 20th, and then, because it's still 30%, so you don't have to wait until June 3rd to use your coins. If you want to use them on May 19th or use them on May 20th. If you know, like 100% know for sure that you won't be able to use them on June 3rd, then obviously the next best choice is to use them on May 30th. So, you know, just work around with your schedule and what you think is best. But honestly, 30% is a huge amount. So if we go over to the summary and we scroll down, and it tells you how much coins is needed to complete each pathway. It says for the whole event you need 36k. So 10% of that is 3.6k. So 3.6k times 3, right off the top of my head, that's 9, that's 18. That's, you save a whole 10.8k. If I did the math right, just waiting for a 30% discount, which is insane. So I'm pretty sure most of us, if we just play regularly, log in every 4 hours, or not even, if you just honestly just play, you'll be able to get most monsters. You'll be able to get all monsters, if not most. As far as who I recommend you get, without a doubt, the two most noticeable monsters are Fenrir and Brontes. Now, Fenrir actually turned out to be as incredible as people were thinking he was going to be. It does turn out that all his moves have 0 cooldown. A friend of mine, Mike, actually already has them, and he did confirm that all his moves are 0, have no cooldown at all. So Rage of Fenrir, what's amazing about this move is it's a triple damage. Yeah, it stuns, but if you combine them with a monster that can give your team immunity to stun or immunity to freeze, I think we have Sarah and Kalik. Can you just imagine how crazy that is? Because with Kalik specifically, you have immunity to stun and freeze, which means if you use all speed runes on her, and your opponent is running like any monster with AoE freeze, they won't be able to touch you because you have freeze immunity, and then you can just use that on yourself, and it lasts for 3 turns. So I mean, this move is crazy good. If we compare it to Reptile's Glamorize, I believe sure, it has no stun effect, but it only lasts 1 turn, and it has a cooldown. So like, I'm really surprised this is a 0 cooldown move, and 26 stamina, that's ridiculously good. And then we look at Devastation Axe, 65 damage, 27 stamina. Again, with stamina regeneration, you could always be using this move. No cooldown. And then just looking at his stat, it's one of the highest stats in the game. It's not the highest, but it's one of the higher stats up there. And even his speed is amazing. And what's even more surprising is, normally when a monster has such a high power, their life suffers significantly. You know, 22k is the average we've been seeing. This guy still brings a whopping 27k, so that's pretty amazing. The trade isn't good, but like I've said before, if it was like immune to freeze or stun, he'd just be OP. Now the thing is, I actually don't think, no, I don't want to say he's not OP, I don't think he's OP, but at the same time I think he's like borderline OP, and that's just because like this move alone being 0 cooldown and 65 damage, it's automatically anti-Timerion. Just like General Tomb, I think he has like a 60 damage move, and that alone makes him anti-Timerion, just because you stack some strength runes and you're good to go. But I mean, look at this guy. He has AoE bleed, AoE nightmares, and daze. So daze is good enough, but they decide to add nightmares. Now the damage is a little 20, even with Wolf's Pack 30, and I don't think you'd ever spam these back to back. Like, and by that I mean you wouldn't use Wolf's Pack and then Wolf Packs again. So it doesn't really matter that the cooldown is 0, but the fact that the cooldown is 0 is just amazing, because if you do go against a Timerion and then you see it to your benefit to, instead of use Devastation Axe, it's better to use Scary Hell just for that like negative 25% accuracy. You know, it's an AoE, so it's really good. Like, honestly, this monster is probably the #1 monster you should go for. He is the last monster in the maze, unfortunately, which means you'll have to get keys along the way to get him. But if anyone, he's definitely one monster you don't want to miss out on. He's super good. I imagine him being one of the best attackers in the game. It really goes down to this 65 damage Devastation Axe at 27 stamina and no cooldown, and his Rage that gives him a triple damage for 3 turns, or gives any of your monsters triple damage. That's incredibly insane. I definitely recommend you get him. The next notable monster is Brontes, and Brontes, his stats are like mediocre. I mean, his life is pretty good, it's pretty tanky. His power, it's nothing to be proud of. His speed, it's also in terms of earth monsters, it might be like one of the lowest, 3rd or 2nd lowest, but he is immune to stun. Now most earth monsters are actually immune to stun, but where this monster is amazing is right here, Mega Stun. That's stun for 2 turns. That's insanely good. And then we scroll down, he has an AoE stun, so that's good already. But Mega Rock Slide, a single Mega Stun move, 3 turn cooldown. Now what's interesting about this is if you go and use Mega Stun on someone, they're stunned for 2 turns. So then, like, the next turn you won't be able to use it, but I mean, ideally, if you start off with Mega Stun on a monster, and then next time it's your turn you use AoE Stun, you'll basically be able to use this on your following turn. So I think it's pretty cool. I think the cooldown is pretty low considering what it can do. The thing about this monster is he also has this big shield, so he attacks and gets a shield, and he also has this move that gives daze, which I think it's just nice to have because it has a 1 turn cooldown, and it's, I don't know if you'd want to, it's interesting to see which mace you'd want to put on, because 0 cooldown is always nice to have, but then a 1 turn cooldown for 3 more, I don't know, this one's really subjective what you want to put, but definitely Aerial Rock Slide, Mega Rock Slide, and this shield are good moves to have. And again, what makes this monster great is just this introduction of Mega Stun. So Mega Stun actually works in conjunction with stun, so if a monster has been stunned before, he can actually be Mega Stunned. Now I haven't tested Mega Stun against a monster who has immunity to stun, but I imagine that Mega Stun is completely different from stun, so if this is true, that means no monster has immunity to Mega Stun, which just makes this monster good. So we take a monster like Oros who has immunity to freeze and stun. Well, too bad he's not going to be immune to Mega Stun. So in that respect, this monster is definitely unique, definitely worth getting, definitely one of the top 5 earth monsters, I would say. Yeah, definitely. So get Fenrir, get Brontes, and I guess those are the 2 more unique monsters in the maze. Next, I would say Griffin, and what I like about Griffin is he might just arguably be the 2nd best thunder attacker in the game. So he has a whopping power of 35,009 and an amazing speed too. And see what I mean here? Usually when a monster has good power, their life suffers. Fenrir doesn't suffer from that, but this guy does come in at his 22k, and yeah, his speed pretty good. Immune to daze, that's okay. Again, I always feel like thunder monsters should be immune to stun. I don't know why. I don't know, it'd be cool if more thunder monsters were immune to stun. But just looking at his moves, there's a lot to do with him. So one, he has AoE blind, which is super good. Anything that reduces accuracy is really good. He has an attack called Huge Peck, which is 60 damage, 28 stamina, and no cooldown, which is anti-Timerion, of course. Given his high power, give him some strength runes and he'll be able to one-hit Timerion or just about any monster that doesn't have life runes with Huge Peck. He also has bleeding pecks, and he has stunning pecks, which again, 45 damage, but the cool thing here is 0 cooldown, and it's a stun move, which means also anti-Timerion. If you ever get cooldowns activated, you could always and you have like a major threat coming up, you could always stun instead of going for like a one-hit kill. Or maybe you can't complete the one-hit kill, maybe you could always stun, which is super cool to have. You also have massive peck. Now I'm not sure how many people are going to be equipped in this. I'm not sure if I want to equip it myself, because sure, it's 70, but it's also like a 2-turn cooldown, but it is 28 stamina, but 2-turn cooldown is a little turn off, so I'm not sure. Griffin Thunder, it's really good, it's strong too, but I'm starting to think it's better to have AoE blind than just a stronger move. But then when you add in strength into the equation, it might be better to have Griffin Thunder, or just a combination. Can you imagine starting off with Lion Thunder, then going on with Griffin Thunder? So this guy has like 6 good moves to choose from, so I'm not really sure what to choose yet. I have an idea, but I'll just leave that up to you guys for now. So he's definitely worth getting. He's actually one of the easier monsters to get, so you should have no problem with that. And then Shakti, oh my gosh, this monster just has a really cool design. He's worth getting just for his design. There's nothing too impressive about his stats, power, life, speed, they're all pretty mediocre. Immune to blind, nice to have, but not one of the best. Now this is what I love. He has a chance to gain haste himself, and he has a chance to slow down all the enemy targets. So I'll explain a little more when I also show you the chat skill over here. Deals low damage to enemies, may haste all targets. I'm assuming that's a typo and it should be your team gets haste, or a chance to get haste. And what I like about this is there was a time when slow and haste used to be really deadly, and now they introduce that 40% that people automatically assume they suck, they're not worth it. Now I just think this adds a little more fun element to the game, because you know, we can easily rely on AoE freeze and stun for days, but to add a monster that can potentially give you haste, and now it like reworks the way the monsters are going to attack, I think it's really fun to use something like that. So for that reason, I do like this monster. He also has Ashram Peace, which it gives double damage to an ally, and I'm really not sure why it's a 2-turn or a 3-turn cooldown. I believe I mentioned, you know, Lord of Atlantis has a move that gives precision and 2 times damage. Lux has a move that gives precision and 2 times damage, and they definitely don't have a 3-turn cooldown, so that's a little too much in my opinion. Blinding Yoga is nice to have a move that blinds. Cosmic Energy I love, removes 100% of stamina from the target. I really wish it would deal some more damage, but it doesn't. So you have that. And then here's another thing. So I remember this saying this was 0 before, so now it apparently has a 3-turn cooldown, which is interesting. A little of that makes me fear that Fenrir is gonna have cooldowns added to his skills, and I really hope they don't, because that's actually one of the most reasons to get him. But you know, like I said, a friend of mine did confirm that he does have 0 cooldowns. I really hope they don't nerf it, but it is a potential thing, because right now it really does seem too good to be true. But we'll see, because I do recall they did change some things on him, on Shakti, so we'll see about that. But definitely still get Fenrir, get Brontes. Let me scroll up. Get Fenrir, get Brontes, get Griffin, and then Shakti would be in 4th, I guess. And then I have nothing really to say about this monster. He's really not that impressive. Stats are mediocre, moves are also pretty mediocre. That's just what I remember. I think there was a move I liked. Let me look real quick. No, maybe there wasn't any move I liked. I guess I did like this. Deals low damage and you get 20% AoE, and you give yourself healing. Actually, no, I'm not even sure. Deals moderate. Yeah, there's nothing too special about this monster. Going back to this though, Fenrir is definitely the hardest to get. I'm not sure why this guy Kulkan is in 7th if he's not that special. Brontes, Shakti, these are all monsters definitely worth getting, and they're easy to get. Griffin, he's arguably one of the better monsters in the maze, and he's only in the 3rd pathway, which means he's easy. So if you check it out, like, that could probably be gotten in maybe by tomorrow. Like, it's super easy to get Griffin. A lot of these monsters are easy to get. Shakti's easy, Brontes 6,000, that's easy. Only Fenrir that costs the most, and again with like 30% discounts, it's gonna be super easy to get every monster, I think. As far as the rare goes and the epics, I don't think Phoenix is that amazing. Medusa is actually, it's one of the top earth monsters because it has an AoE stun, so definitely get her too. I mean, you probably will on the way to getting most of the monsters anyways. But yeah, I really hope this video wasn't as cluttered as I am perceiving it to be. This was just my opinion on the mythology maze of who I think you should get and how to get coins essentially. But really the main message is wait 4 hours and play. Do all the tasks. Also wait for the discount days. 30% is a lot. you'll be better off if you wait and you get every single monster than if you like start using your coins now and then be sad at the very end that you didn't get every monster. Meanwhile, all your friends and all the other players have everyone. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm really sorry I made this video in a complete rush because I have finals I need to prepare for, and I really should be studying instead of making videos, but I did get a lot of requests to make this video. Hopefully it helps somewhat. Let me know what you guys think, and good luck on the mythology maze. I'll be updating you guys as I continue to play. I'll see you guys next time.